Oh, welcome back, everyone.
Welcome back, everyone.
What? I didn't tell you could come out yet.
I'm sorry, I just wanted to hang out.
No, go back to your corner.
No, I don't want to go back. I don't like it there.
Go back to your corner.
No.
Go to your corner.
Okay. I'm going. Sorry.
Piece of shit. Yeah. Well, hello there. Was that not the most epic thing you've ever seen in Space Engineers? I think so. Today, we'll be looking at a very cool build that one of our subscribers on the Discord server posted. He did not ask for me to review this ship. He did not say anything. He simply just posted it on the self-promotion page. Now, on this page, you can post any of your ships, and this ship really caught my attention. I really liked the design, and I was like, hey, fuck it. I'm gonna make cinematic for it. So I did, and I thought, well, why don't I just do a little bit of a review of this wondrous dreadnought destroyer ship. It's a destroyer, not a dreadnought. This wonderful destroyer. Now, Pyotrix built this lovely destroyer, and it is really, really appealing to look at. He's done a great job in adding, well, all of these weapons, but also the curves, the greeblies, the little walkways, the kind of useless parts to the ship that don't really have a purpose, but they just add so much detail. So I'm going to go through that and share with you my thoughts and appreciations for this ship. Now we'll do a little bit of an outside tour. As you can see, this is kind of what I'm talking about. Stuff like this, there isn't really a purpose to have the ladders on the outside of the ship. However, it just adds so much more detail. Like, you could imagine that maybe on the outside, maybe while repairing a ship, you know, engineers would float around, hook themselves up to here, or these ladders, these rungs with like big cables, and swing around the ships to do maintenance on the guns, and they could swing around to these other areas and just like kind of put other cables on and just kind of slowly switch their way all the way up to this walkway. And I'll get to this walkway in a sec, but it's really awesome that these greebly sections, these little areas where you can kind of walk in and around, that just adds so much depth and detail to the entire ship. I love the use of these sideways like hallways. So like he put these like hallway blocks on their side, and it just again adds like so much detail. Like just a simple block that adds a little more character to the side of the ship. You know, from afar, just like a pole, couple lights, couple wires maybe going across, and it continues this pattern all the way down. It has this like recessed area, which is kind of also used as like some sort of walkway. Like you can go down these ramps, like very steep ones, but he also has these lockers on the side. I would have never thought to do this on any of my builds, but it, again, like I said before, it just adds that extra bit of detail, and you could have a total purpose for this. So if you needed to repair stuff on the outside, you know, you could come to these lockers, grab some materials and start repairing. Or if you were like locked in battle and you needed every weapon on deck on hand, you get some players to run out here, grab some ammo, some rifles, and start shooting off the side. You know, hide behind these barricades up here and shoot like the opposing ships and everything. It's just such a cool idea. Now coming through here, we can just get to the end, and there's more lockers coming up. We kind of have this gyro, kind of just random here, but it does add like a little bit of like detail to the ship, just like a little spherical ball there. You know, you could even pretend this is like some sort of radar, or literally it's just a gyro, like extra gyros out on the ship. Then he has some exposed assemblers, I think that's what that is. Yeah, so if you needed to build stuff or quickly make some materials to go repair, it's all accessible right there. Now you can see the kind of like style and angles that he went for. It was kind of like starting with one angled area, then on top of that there would be another one, and then this is kind of the engine cell right here. It's mirrored basically on both sides, but it gives that very big bulkiness, and it looks really good with this style of ship, this long blade-like structure. Again, more mounts of guns all the way around, and then coming to the back, probably the coolest part in my opinion is just this exposed hangar. Now, I don't know if there's any mods that are supposed to go with the ship, like maybe this is supposed to be covered up, but I think it just needed one more DLC that I didn't have, and I thought, you know what, I'll spend the extra bucks just to review the ship, just look at it. You have all these little areas to like put fighters in, or like kind of store, honestly, you could store like big cargo containers that just attach onto the back of the ship. So you can use this destroyer as like a cargo carrying vessel if need be. And then we come to the top of the ship. Now at the top we have this one lonely connector, and you can use this connector to, refuel any like ships, or maybe it's just like extra hangar space. It's kind of like a bigger platform, so like a larger ship could probably land there. And then we have this airlock right here, and I think that leads to the cab, but I'll show that after. And of course, the most amazing part of this build is just the amount of armaments all the way across. And you can notice that there's this very long section in the middle, and this is housing a very nice new railgun that they added to the game. Looks great, super functional, and I love that placement. So now let's take a look on the inside of this beautiful ship. So starting from the rear of the ship, we are now in the hangar, and we can come over here and open up these lovely hangar doors, and that looks absolutely amazing. I like how we use that rusted kind of color coding for these, and it just adds that, again, extra bit of detail. I'm really impressed with that, as well as having these kind of like cargo containers just kind of sitting around everywhere in the cargo bay. Kind of makes sense, fighters would come in, drop off supplies and cargo. You just have them laying around in this area. So coming through here, this is the airlock, and as you can see, we have got the survival kits here, just like the basic area, kind of the main entranceway. If we come to the side, we've got these tables, very nice and roomy, and then we have an access port. So like, I believe this is a cargo, oh no, it's just an O2 generator. So you can just access, the conveyor system through this, or maybe add to it with some ice and do whatever you need to do. It's the exact same on the other side, so we won't worry about going to the other side. Now, this is probably one of the most impressive things that I've seen on this ship. He used window blocks alongside these conveyors to just see them on the opposite side. So it's like they're closed off, or like they're actually in the vacuum of space, but you can still see them. So you can see if they're damaged, like what's going on with these conveyors. Maybe you're like, oh, why is everything not connected up? I thought I connected it all up. And then you realize that, one of these conveyor parts are just broken. So then you could just, you would have to tear down this, or maybe access it from the outside and then go repair it. I think it's a really cool idea, a really neat idea, and I really like that. As well as the use of these railings and coloration in this area. Yellow, you can really tell that it's like the maintenance area, the area where you're going to have all your conveyors, your large reactor, which looks magnificent in here. I love this walkway. Unfortunately, this is only accessible through the DLC, but definitely something worth getting. And then if you come around to the side, you'll notice this very green area, very green. Ow. And you can walk all the way around here, and this is the cargo area. So it's got all of these small cargo containers. You can just fill up with supplies, put anything you need in here. They're all accessible through this, and it honestly just works perfect. Now, coming back to the reactor room, if we go up to the top of the reactor, we'll notice that there's this door over here, and then this, oops, sorry. We can open it, and now we are outside to this large platform. Once we're back inside, we can climb on down, and then we can go forward to this area, which is what leads you to the bridge. Now, personally, if I were to have this set up on my ship, I would at least have some sort of sliding door here, or some sort of door just kind of block off from like the reactor area to the main bridge. That's just my style. That's just how I would do it. There's nothing wrong with the way he did it. I honestly love it though, because it just allows you to, rush to different areas. Look at all these crazy and awesome consoles. Looks absolutely amazing. I really like this design. He's got the main control, the main like captain seat up here. You can walk around, and he's got these awesome seats up here. You could kind of like have conversations with other captains and generals, a part of your military up here. And the view is just absolutely amazing. You can see everywhere on this ship, especially the front. Like once you pop in here, seeing those cannons right there, if you use the control mode with the turrets, it's just absolutely amazing. So coming down to the reactor area, if we just continue straight, this is where we get kind of the living quarters. So this is kind of like a main hallway, just kind of like a commons room, I guess you could say. There's just like nice wooded areas. There's the armory, so you can like load up, suit up and everything. and then come over here and go through the main hallway, walk on up here. And now this room doesn't really have a purpose, but I really like it. He used LCD panel. Is that an LCD panel, or is that a type of light? Whatever that is, that looks really nice there. But this is just kind of like a commons area, like another kind of just like side area where you can just have a personal chat with someone, maybe just kind of hang out. And then you have these skylights on the top, which I really like. It just adds a little extra detail. And then if we continue down the hallway, we'll get to these doors, which are, again, both the same on each side. And that's the crew quarters. So you have this armory. We've got multiple beds on either side just to give, you know, the mass amount of crew that has to be accommodated on this vessel. And then we can kind of continue straight, and you can see that they have both on each side have their own bathrooms and showers. If we continue on forward, you'll notice that we have these red doors, and this allows you to access the outside of the ship. So coming to the outside, you can see into the crew quarters, or this is the captain's quarters, I believe. And then the crew quarters would have been kind of back over there in that area. So let's just walk in here, go through here, and now we have like kind of like a private room. So they have their own armory, their own bed, a table, so they get this nice view outside. It's pretty good. I like that. And then we get to the very end of the ship, or I guess the front of the ship, and we can walk on down, and this is like the med center. So this is where the big med bays are, and we've got CAT scans and everything over here. And I love the use of like the little ferns and plants everywhere. It makes it very like hospitable, a nice area to be and sit around. And then we kind of have like this strange communications room. I love doing this with my ships. Like when I have a large enough ship, I can hide the antenna on the inside. I love doing that because if you're ever in danger or you need help, all your friends will know where you are because your antenna is safe and protected, so they can figure out where you are, where your coordinates are, and just kind of jump their way towards you. Like they'll know if you're like 50 kilometers away or whatever. And then when we go behind this communications area, we're in the gyro room. And I love doing this with ships because as long as you have an area where you can access key components to your ship, such as thrusters, reactors, gyros, it allows your ship to last much longer. And if you can't, it's nice to have welders within the ship to repair and heal your ship. Then coming down to the very bottom of the ship, you'll notice that we have these yellow-ish lockers in here, and I think this is just kind of like a spare cargo room, like the crew maintenance area. So this is where all the crews put all their tools and everything, just like a big abundance of like grinders, drills, welders, guns, ammo, all of that would just kind of be locked away in this area. But what is my verdict? What do I really think of this ship? Well, I give it 5 squishy seals. It gets 5 squishy seals. That is my rating for this ship. And it doesn't get 6 because, well, I feel that it has lack of doors. I feel like there needs to be a little more doors between each section of the ship. So like reactor room to the bridge, maybe having doors from like that separate the comms area from the med bay, and then going downstairs to the next area, which is like that little cargo room. But he did use a door to separate from the gyro room, which was really good. Anyways, that's all I have time for today. Let me know what you thought of the video. Let me know if you want to see more and what you would like to see me do next in Space Engineers. Build something, create something, review something like I just did in this video. And Pile Tricks, please don't take offense to anything I said. All mean love, and it's honestly a great ship, really like it, and it seriously shredded through my Tundari frigates, and it was great. I love flying around with it. I love the amount of guns. It's got a lot of power, a lot of raw strength to it, and I'd like to see more builds from you, my great general. Anyways, that's all I've had for today, and I'll see you in the next. And as always, stay safe, stay thick, join the Discord, and I'll see you in the next. This has been your Lore playing Space Engineers once again, now signing